The Richest Child. Arjun Mehra was 12 years old and lived in a grand house nestled in one of Delhi's most posh neighborhoods. His bedroom was larger than many people's entire homes, filled with shelves of toys, shelves of books, a flat screen television, and every gaming console imaginable. His parents, especially his father, Rakesh Mehra, a successful real estate magnate, had always ensured Arjun lacked for nothing materially. But something was missing. Rakesh had begun noticing that Arjun, despite his comfort, was constantly bored, rarely grateful, and increasingly disconnected from the world around him. One evening, as they sat quietly on the terrace, Rakesh turned to his son. Arjun, he began, do you know how lucky you are? Arjun shrugged, scrolling through his tablet. I guess. Rakesh sighed. You have everything a child could ask for, but I'm worried you don't understand what life really is. Arjun looked up, a little puzzled. Life is just school, food, games, and sleep, right? Rakesh smiled. It's much more, and I think it's time you saw it. The following weekend, Rakesh told Arjun to pack light. No electronics, no fancy clothes, just a small backpack with a few essentials. Where are we going? Arjun asked, suspicious. To the village, Rakesh replied, with a mysterious smile. To visit some old friends. They drove for nearly 7 hours, far away from the city's hustle and noise. The road narrowed, the air became clear, and lush green fields spread out in all directions. Finally, they arrived in a small village called Bhanipur. It was simple, quiet, and untouched by time. Mud house stood alongside brick ones, and children ran barefoot, chasing one another without a care in the world. They were greeted by Ramu Kaka, an old friend of Rakesh's from childhood. Ramu and his wife Sita lived on a modest farm with their two kids, Chintu and Gudia, and their parents. Rakesh Bhai? Ramu Kaka exclaimed, embracing him warmly. You remembered us after so many years? How could I forget my brother from another mother? Rakesh laughed. Arjun stood back, watching them curiously. This is my son Arjun, Rakesh introduced. He's never seen real village life. Welcome, Arjun beta, said Sita firmly, placing a hand on his head. Chintu Gudia, come say hello. Chintu was around Arjun's age and Gudia slightly younger. Within minutes, they dragged Arjun off to show him their goats, their small pond, and their favorite mango tree. For the next 3 days, Arjun experienced a world he'd never imagined. A new world. The first morning, Arjun woke up to the sound of birds, not alarm clocks. The air smelled of wet soil and fresh cow dung. He grimaced at first, but found it oddly grounding. They had simple breakfast, fresh milk, homemade butter on thick rotis, and jaggery. Arjun was surprised by how tasty everything was. How old is your fridge? Arjun asked Gudia innocently. Gudia giggled. We don't have one. We eat fresh food every day. That afternoon, the children bathed in a nearby river. Arjun hesitated, seeing how muddy it looked. But Chintu, dived in with a big splash, and shouted, "Come on, you scared?" Arjun laughed and joined in. The cold water sent a shiver down his spine, but it was the most fun he'd had in years. They swam, raised leaves, and made floating boats with banana leaves. That night, after a hearty meal of lentils, rice, and fresh vegetables from their own farm, Arjun and his father lay on a cot in the open courtyard. Above them, the stars stretched across the sky like glittering jewels. "Papa," Arjun said, eyes wide, "I've never seen so many stars before." Rakesh smiled. "City lights blind us from what's already there." On the second day, Ramu Kaka took Arjun on a walk around the village. They passed women fetching water, men ploughing fields with bulls, and children studying under a tree. "They don't even have a classroom?" Arjun asked. "They do," Ramukaka replied. "But they like studying outside when the weather is nice." In the afternoon, the children helped Sita auntie grind spices on a stone slab. Gudiya told Arjun, "My mother says food tastes better when made with love, not machines." Arjun looked around. No AC, no fans, no microwave ovens, but people laughed more. They talked to each other, not into phones. Every meal was a family event. "Why do they all sit together and eat?" Arjun asked. "Because that's how we share our day," said Sita. "It's how we stay close." Later, Arjun noticed how the villagers helped one another. One man's roof had fallen in a storm, and by evening, five neighbors came over with bamboo and tools to fix it. No money, just help. The return. On the drive back to Delhi, Arjun sat quietly. His clothes smelled of earth, and he had a slight tan from playing in the sun. But he felt lighter, different. So Rakesh asked, "Did you enjoy the trip?" "It was amazing, Dad," Arjun replied sincerely. "Did you see how poor they are?" Arjun was quiet for a moment, then turned to look at his father. "Poor? I think we are the poor ones." Rakesh frowned, surprised. "What do you mean?" "Well," Arjun began thoughtfully, "we have only one dog, and they have four, and they actually play with them. We have a pool in our backyard, but they have a river that flows endlessly. We look at screens for light, they look at stars. We have cameras for security. They have friends." Rakesh glanced at his son, eyes wide with emotion. "We eat packaged food. They eat what they grow. We buy everything. They build, cook, and fix with their own hands. We leave behind high gates. They leave their doors open." Arjun looked down at his hands calloused from carrying water buckets with Chintu. "They have so little, but I never saw them complain. They laugh more than we do." Rakesh was silent, heartful. His son had seen something that many adults fail to see in a lifetime. After a while, Arjun said softly, "Thank you, Papa, for taking me there. I thought we were rich, but now I know true wealth is not what we keep locked in safes or banks. It's in the way we live, love, and share." A change at home. Back in Delhi, Arjun's life did not remain the same. He began spending more time in the kitchen with their cook, learning how food was prepared. He helped the gardener plant seeds and started a small vegetable patch of his own. He spent more time with his parents, asking about their day, sharing stories from school. His room stayed the same, but the way he lived in it changed. He donated many of his toys and clothes. He no longer needed things to feel happy. He now valued experience, friendship, and family. One day, when Rakesh came home late, tired from work, Arjun greeted him at the door with a smile and said, "Let's have dinner on the terrace today, under the stars." Rakesh felt tears prick his eyes. "You've grown up, my boy." Arjun grinned. "No, Papa, I've just learned what it really means to live."